How do you define workaholism? What's it mean to you? Do you self-identify as a workaholic? Are you worried about your employees when it comes to their work-life balance? Let's take a quick look at how workaholism became a thing here in the American culture. Celeste Headlee wrote a book called Do Nothing that outlines how we got to workaholism and why it's such a challenge. She starts by talking about the Industrial Revolution and how all of a sudden we didn't have to work with sun up to sundown. We could work into the wee hours of the morning or deep into the night. Fast forward to here and now, we have people who feel like they have to hustle hard to make opportunities happen. What's it like to be noticed by your boss to get a promotion? What is it like to get that next opportunity or that next raise? We have a culture that is celebrating workaholism, and it's something we need to change. As Brene Brown said, we need to remove that badge of busyness, that badge we wear with pride of, how are you? I'm so busy. We want something different. We want something better. So now that we know that workaholism has started with the Industrial Revolution and fast forward to now with the promotions and side hustle, we also need to recognize that our technology is making it hard to have work-life separation. Celeste talks about having smartphones and having access to our work email, having things ping at all times of the day, having us check our phones on vacations, things of that nature. So some of this is about having boundaries when it comes to addressing workaholism. So what does this mean for your workplace? If you're a leader, I want you to consider a few things to help your team not burn out and not endorse workaholism. The first of which is, what are the incentives to actually take breaks? You would think that we'd all be excited to take PTO or to use our vacation time, and yet so many of us feel guilt when we actually take that time off. So what's the incentive? Are you emphasizing wellness in your community? Are you emphasizing how important it is? Are you respecting your team by not emailing them at late hours of the night or on weekends? I know if I get emails on weekends, I'm more likely to respond because I have to work on my boundaries, and your team might also have that issue. Maybe now you're asking them to work on wellness. Is there any wellness plan in your workplace? Something like incentivizing walking during the lunch hour, doing yoga as a group, having a wellness retreat. With everything that's changed in the last couple of years, this work-life balance is important to everyone. We want to feel like maybe we have a float day, we can work from home. Maybe it's about the perks of having a half day or setting our own schedule. We know now that burnout risks reduce when we have higher control and less stress. So what does that look like as a leader to create that for your team or for your employees or for your nonprofit? That's just 3 examples. So that is one idea I want you to consider when challenging workaholism in your workplace. We're not emailing our colleagues late into the evening. We're not checking our phones on weekends. Those might be 2 tips to try. Lastly, if this is important to you, maybe it's also about employee retention. We're not burning them out with long hours and additional projects. Maybe now we're asking them to take those breaks. Maybe we're rewarding that somehow. In the end, it's important to encourage a healthy workplace. Have those wellness programs. Ensure that people use their time off. Make sure that we're not bothering them on their time off and that we have really solid boundaries of when we're checking email and when we're answering the phone. We can model this as leaders. It can really address that workaholism and successfully remove that badge of busyness.